Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 6 British cruiser, Leander. She has 28,700 health, a top speed of 32.5 knots, 8 152mm guns, 8 torpedoes, a surface detect of 10 kilometers, and 36 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift. For my commander, basic survivability, and expert marksman. We are on the map 2, brothers, and this is going to be the first British cruiser where I talk about my experiences with it in detail. I've played it a couple times, not a lot, I know, but this is a great game outside of the fact that it is in a British cruiser. Hopefully you enjoy it. So, just an overview, since not everyone has played these. The British cruiser line has only AP. The torpedo spread is narrow and single launch. It comes with heal, and it's a weird heal. It's useful. It's definitely useful, but you take so much damage, I don't know if it's worth it. It has no access to defensive fire, and the smoke consumable shares the spot with, I believe, aircraft and radar. Don't know if it's available on the Tier 6. Doesn't really matter. You basically have to use smoke. We are headed over towards A, and an enemy destroyer was spotted trying to take A. Now, it's a pretty fast ship. It cannot load acceleration module. You would love to be able to do this because of the smoke, obviously. And I'm just trying to look for a broadside target, and we see an enemy Omaha willing. Now, you notice I have an angle. It is important that you angle your ship. If you're caught out, ooh, nice. First salvo, first citadel. 8,100 points of damage, and you notice I'm trying to depress the gun a little bit because he's moving close, just slightly. We miss with the placement. He moves away. But the way the AP works, it's effective. You need to be able to get the citadel of your opponent. You need to get the side of your opponent. If they're bow on or stern on, you will basically do no damage. It's one of those things where I don't have a solution for the player's playstyle. I guess they might think that the torpedo systems are the solution, but they don't have enough range to be the solution. Next best thing, you basically just pick on people who make a mistake. And you're not picky about finishing off a target, anything like that, because you just can't if the angle is too extreme. And they like to pick on you. Don't get... It was funny, I'm not going to pick on any community contributors, you know. I can't understand these ships. I know I'm making mistakes. I'm sure everyone has made mistakes, but I heard that the consensus was that they don't really have a big citadel to hit. I have died 100-0 4 or 5 times in one stream day, so that's probably what, 10, 15 games? I would say that's a bad sign, and it's not like I'm making mistakes all the time. I just get spotted by someone who's on my flank, and they fire at least one salvo, right? And you try and angle at least one of those kills. I had fantastic angle. I mean, it couldn't have been better. But they were able to get 3 citadels on an angled British cruiser and knock me out completely. So they are very fragile. Very fragile. I would highly recommend you use smoke. And if you notice, I'm not doing a lot of damage to a target that has good angling. What else can I do, though? You know, people in the stream are like, you're very negative. You're, meh. Why aren't you super excited for a brand new launch? Well, because I'm not really getting a real fun vibe from it. Not like the Belfast. The Belfast felt great. Even if the Belfast is quote-unquote overpowered, the fact that you can swap between HE and AP already makes it a better experience. And that is saying something. Maybe that is a part of the game. Maybe that is necessary for the game. I think it is. Now we're doing a little bit of damage to the Koenig. He's showing more side than probably he wants to, but he's trying to retreat. I pop my smoke in defense of the enemy battleship that is also to the south of his position. I didn't catch his name. It's the New York, okay? The New York was firing on us. We've just got to be careful. We cannot be seen. And it's just salvo after salvo after salvo. I just felt like, what else can I do? The game is telling me that this is how I have to play it. Maybe get closer for torpedoes, but I don't really have good concealment. My commanders are pretty garbage. You do obviously want to engage the destroyers, and that shot was probably not enough lead, honestly, considering it's a enemy Soviet destroyer, and we get a little bit of damage on him. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue to try. Assist my team as much as I can. But it's just, it's weird. It's weird to only have AP. It's just weird. Some people like to joke, oh, with battleships, they already only have AP. They don't, but at least they have the choice. Whenever a target refuses to show their side, like they're supposed to play every single matchup, you want to maintain good angling and maximize your DPS on your opponent. That's pretty universal. It's just, it doesn't exist right now. I have heard rumors, they're, you know, not confirmed or anything, but I have heard rumors this is not the final form. They might change them further. Ooh, that was a pretty good shot. Was that 3,000? Not bad, not bad at all. I would really like to see something HE, just something that can light the target up, and I can fire it at an angled target where it's very clear AP's not going to work. So now that our smoke is gone, we have to either be cautious or be aggressive. Either one, we're probably going to take fire and take damage until the smoke is up again. And I'm just trying to at least help the team as much as I can. As much as I can. There are so many battleships with angling, and they have so much more armor than these 152 can really pin. It would also be interesting if it was a 203. Would that make a difference on the effectiveness of the guns? I don't know. I don't know. Enemy Koenig is behind the island. I am going to try and capture the base, but also push forward. I do have my smoke, and you sort of have to... oh, of course. 6k. He probably... I don't know if he got a citadel, but he got pretty good damage. Pretty good damage, and I really don't have an answer. So I dropped the speed in an effort to hide behind the island, but also pop the smoke. And this smoke is exactly like the Belfast. 2 puffs and it's done. It is a little bit larger than the average smoke, but it's still fairly obvious where you might be. And we take another fire. Obviously, it stops the capture. And here is the cool part. This is the best part about these. Single launch torpedo. I honestly have more fun just doing this than every other aspect of the game in the British cruisers. I think that's a bad sign. I think it's a very bad sign. So he's going to avoid the torpedoes, it doesn't look like. But look at how he's moving towards my ship. You will have this exact same experience. An enemy battleship will be rushing you, and you can't do anything because you missed your torpedoes. What are you supposed to do? What's the solution here? Well, eventually I'm going to try to use the starboard side torpedoes. But as far as AP goes, it is absolutely worthless. And it looks like he wants to kill me, or at least do damage to me. He intends to hurt me. Really, really bad. And he's getting closer and closer to that 2.5 kilometer range auto detect. And eventually I'm figuring out, you know what? Maybe I should try to back up and move forward with the starboard side torpedoes, because the port side just isn't going to be up in time. And I've seen people suggest, hey, get faster torpedo rearm. That should be useful. And that probably is. The early tier turret traverse is pretty awful, though. Oh, man. Big shot. 9,600. And the one nice thing, though, is he's showing a side. He wants to bring his guns to bear. I have the port side and the starboard side. I'm going to send my starboard. And single launcher. The nice thing about single launchers, they go directly at the target. You don't have to compromise to get 2 or 3 on the target. If you're good at torpedoes, you can hit them all. And we get a double strike right like that. The Omaha's ready. I'm working on the Leningrad. Very quickly, we've turned our fortune on this flank. And it looks like my friendly battleships are too busy behind me. I'm all alone, so I need to avoid the New York shot. 4,000. Nice. The AP against the destroyers, it feels fine. The AP against most cruisers feels fantastic. The AP against battleships is probably way below average. Not an AP, just the damage output you should expect. You really are going to make most of your success when you get torpedoes on the target. So I'm going to try and hide. I'm going to take this opportunity to use that enemy smoke to my advantage by hiding behind the island before the enemy is able to spot me out. There's an enemy in Leningrad in the smoke somewhere, and the New York is pushing forward. And at this point I was like, okay, they're probably going to drop off detection. I'm going to have to get in a position to use my smoke to avoid death, clearly, because we have less than 2,000 hit points left. We die in one shell from that battleship. So I'm just going to edge my way out. I use hydro. That's really the only way I can die right here, as long as I'm undetected. And my intent is very simple. I want to kill. I did consider sending my torpedoes, but if I use the starboard, then I will have to reorient the ship. I would rather try and wait him out and see if the battleship is going to move forward or the destroyer shells himself. The enemy battleship did indeed move forward, so I'm going to send my single launcher, and you cannot do this in anything else. Look how precise these single launch torpedoes are going to be. If the target does not change his course, I will hit 4 torpedoes on him. You can't do that on anything else, and I think I need all 4 in order to have a chance against this guy. And oh man, the enemy destroyer right in front of me. Rotate the guns. We're going to 1, 2, 3, all 4 torpedoes. The enemy Leningrad sends. He pulls a Notser. We fire at the waterline. We take him out. One set is going to miss us. Oh no, the New York, he's so low. Please don't take the kill. I really want the kill. We're going to avoid both sets of torpedoes. And honestly, I think I killed the Leningrad while he was launching. He only sent out 2 torpedoes, and he has a 4 launcher. I don't think I saw any island clipping from it, and thankfully, I'm going to be able to get around the island and kill off the New York. I press C there to rotate the point of view. If you have a scenario where you're around an island, and you know some of your guns can fire on the enemy, you can cycle your viewport over certain turrets by pressing C. Just like you can cycle your torpedo point of view or your shell point of view. So somehow we absolutely crushed this flank. We're barely alive, but we're still down. It's 2 versus 4. The enemy has a clear advantage. We do have a destroyer though on the eastern flank, and if he can get 1 kill with his torpedoes, I think we have a chance. I'm going to push forward. I have no idea what the hit points are for this enemy cruiser in front of me. Notice the last known position, C4, the last known position of that cruiser. So I want to make sure all of my gun turrets are at least port side. All my gun turrets are at least port side, okay. And we want to engage whatever we see. There's just not enough time to play passively. We have to get kills, and we have to get kills right now. I would love to have another smoke charge. I would love to have another hydro, another heal. My commander just wasn't skilled enough to assist me. And we're already detected. He's within 10 kilometers of my ship. Where is he? There he is. Oh, he's so low. We gotta kill him before he shoots. And for whatever reason, he wasn't looking at us. Easy kill. Don't know what he was doing. He pops a smoke in a last-ditch effort. Doesn't save him. We get Kraken Unleashed. That was about the easiest, most painless kill of the game. And it shouldn't have been. It should have been the most stressful. Not that he would have had success, because we are bow on. He would have to get pretty lucky with his AP, but still. So, we know there are at least 2 enemy ships spotted over by the D point. I'm going to try and make my way towards B. There is a chance that we run into the enemy destroyer. And depending on the health of the enemy destroyer, we could go to the bottom of the sea. But let's face it, we gotta try and win. We're not gonna win if we just play to live. We've gotta play to capture the point, maybe get behind the enemy, kill him. That's what we need to do. So far in this game, you have seen me fire a ton of salvos, and I would say probably on average 20 to 40% of those salvos did minor damage, if that, and that's frustrating. There's absolutely nothing like that in the game if you're a player who actively uses HE and AP. I can't help you if you don't switch out of AP. I can't help you if you don't switch out of HE. But if you're a player that has learned to use those skills, you're going to have a huge, frustrating learning curve going to this ship. You're just going to be like, I should be able to do more in this game, and I just can't because of the ammo choices that are available to me. It's really frustrating for me. I am still under the protection of hydroacoustic. Didn't run into anyone. The enemy destroyer is actually seen on the eastern flank, and boy, that Hatsuharu. You've got to do everything you can, Hatsuharu. I am rushing. I'm trying to take B. I'm going to try and get over to D. We can't do anything. We can't stop. We have to go at full speed. If you were the Hatsuharu, Notser, what would you be doing? I would try to predict a turn by one of the battleships. I would not waste torpedoes on the enemy destroyer because, let's face it, it's just so easy for the destroyer to dodge it. So maybe that Colorado. I would try and stay at my max range and send the torpedoes, hope to get one or two on the target, and avoid taking damage. That is what the Hatsuharu should be doing. He shouldn't be trying to kill the destroyer more than he's trying to kill one of the battleships. And I see the Texas is fairly low. I am not in a position to fire on him, although it is saying that you can fire over the island. Maybe I should have taken a shot there. But I decide, ultimately, let's take the shot. And maybe I elevate the gun a little bit too much. But as I get closer to the island, because I am actively going towards D, we hit the island. So we're going to try and speed up fire between the islands. The game is just so close to the end, I have no choice. I have to risk the ship. And thankfully, the Texas is not looking at us. We can see the backside of the turrets, as you can tell right now. He's focused on trying to take out the Hatsuharu. I'm going to be focused on trying to take him out and capturing the base. So I am going to sacrifice a little bit of speed and turret angle in order to go into the base itself and deny that capture. Unfortunately for me, the Hatsuharu is still not hitting any of his torpedoes, and we really need that to fix the balance of the match. I do, however, get pretty lucky. The Texas not wanting to kill me, and he's showing a broadside. So the AP is about as good as it'll get. My location is not as good as it could get, but the scenario is about as good as it could get. 2,000, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. And we're just going to try every salvo, getting him towards the end point of dying. And I'm not sure, has he used his heal or not? I think he did. The enemy destroyer is pretty low, and that's great. I have no idea my friendly's health. Now I do. Okay, he has a health advantage. Kill the kamikaze R. And we're going to capture this. Still working on the Texas. I still want to lock this up. Okay, we have an advantage right now. The friendly has to run. Just run. Hide. And I'm trying to kill the Texas. Oh man, we have 27 seconds left. Just run, friendly. Don't take any. And he dies to the Colorado. Oh no! 15 seconds left. Not enough time to win just on the capture points. We've got to get this kill. Every single salvo trying to get the kill. He's at 3,800. Double check. He's not looking at us. Fire one more salvo. Oh, he's at 24. I don't think it's going to be enough. Is it going to be? No. The shells don't even hit the target. 2,400 hit points. 2 salvos. So close. We earned double strike. Dreadnought. Kraken unleashed. 5 kills, of course, for Kraken. 116,000 points of damage done. 3 base captures. 5 torpedo hits. We set the target on fire with our secondaries. It wasn't our primary guns. They don't have HE. As far as base XP, 1,513 outscored everyone except for that Colorado, and we absolutely would have gotten 2,000 with the win. But we didn't. We were just that close. Most of my damage is honestly both AP and torpedoes, and it feels like you gotta use those torpedoes to be successful in the British cruiser line. I'm fine with that. I just want HE for those times where I'm not in range for my torpedoes. I enjoyed those engagements. I felt like I was on the edge of dying, but that's the British cruiser line. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Leander. She almost gave the team the win. Very close. Very good game. I enjoyed it. Doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.